Jason Hugg, Reading Magazine. We're here at the Foxbrook Share Movie Theater in Wyomissing. We're talking with local actor Bill Pugh. He had a little role in Glass, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie that just came out last week. We're going to talk to him about his role coming up. How's it going, everyone? We're back with Bill. Thanks for being here with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, so before we get into Glass,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about how your acting career, how you got into it.
I went in the Marine Corps right after high school, and I've been a martial artist since I was 6 years old. And I just had a great opportunity of competing in karate tournaments and fighting, and made a little name for myself in high school and started going to tournaments, and I met a really wonderful guy. His name is Michael D. Pasquale, who really got my career off the ground. A lot of martial art movies, Don the Dragon Wilson, Cynthia Rothrock, Billy Blanks. He's been in a bunch of his films back in the 70s and 80s. And he has this action stunt school up in Storm King Mountain in New York City, up in New York. And I started coming under his tutelage, and he started showing me how to do stunts and things like that, fighting for films. And I started getting my first acting jobs. Some of my first acting jobs were like modeling, pictures. It's called print work. And then I started getting small roles of getting beat up on certain films. And actually, we did this CBS TV show up on Storm King Mountain, How to Want to Be the Next Action Star. It was like the first of the reality TV shows back in the early 90s. And it cut right away. They didn't produce it or anything, just like a lot of things that happen.
Right.
But I got to be a part of that. They
weren't ready for reality TV.
They weren't ready yet. Yes, no. But he really started my career. He introduced me to so many different people. Art Camacho, he's a great mentor of mine. He's done a lot of Steven Seagal films, worked with Dolph Lundgren, all the big-time stars. He's still out in Hollywood making active films, and he makes a great film. A couple years ago, he gave me a small part in one of his films called The Showdown, where they broke a beer bottle over my head in a fight scene in a nightclub. That was really cool because, obviously they don't use real beer bottles. It's that sugar glass and things like that. But I've learned a lot over the years about, how the camera works, film sets, really, and he got my career going. Then it was up to me, because I'm the actor, I'm the stunt man, to really what I want to do with my career, and I had to do all the legwork. Go to casting calls, see if I get that act, audition for thousands of films and TV shows before I get that one job. And then over the years, just hone my craft, and now recently, for working on Glass, I got my SAG card. Which,
and what did you have to do for that?
Well, there's 3 Taft-Hartleys, it's called, or 3 union waivers. Now, over the years, I've had waivers working on big film sets already. They give you a union voucher.
What else have you done?
Well, I worked in Mona Lisa Smiles with Julia Roberts. I've worked on Sex and the City back in the early, or I should say late 90s. There was a couple episodes called The Dog Show, where Kim Cattrall, Sarah Jessica Parker, they wanted to show a dog on stage, things like that. So I got a great opportunity to work in. And the best thing that I can say to everybody is, yes, acting classes are great. And I'm sorry, I'm not knocking any acting people, that run classes, because I run classes myself. But the best way to learn your craft is to work. Go out there and get a job and learn what it is to be on set. There's so much more that the classroom itself can't teach you.
Yeah, you need real world experience.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff.
Now, those classes are very important to get as well.
Right.
But, just get out there and start doing it. And that's the fun of it. I was in a film called The Benefactor with Richard Gere. I played a father of a sick child, and Franny was the original title. But that was like there was a big philanthropist doctor in Philadelphia. This is based on a true story, where he would go into the children's hospital networks of the kids with cancer patients and things like that. So I had a good role on. I played a sick a father of a sick child that had cancer in some of the scenes and stuff like that. So that was a good role to be in. I have a resume a mile long of all the things that I've done. I worked on a couple TV shows with Felicia Rashad called Do No Harm. It was for a couple seasons, then they canceled it.
Okay.
And that's a whole nother world, is the business end of filmmaking and TV shows. You know, who picks it up, Fox or some of the TV networks and things like that. I'm nowhere on that end of producing or directing myself yet, but that's a whole nother world.
So how did you get into Glass and the M. Night Shyamalan realm?
Heary Loftus Casting is, Diane Heary is a wonderful woman. She has casted me in several films. She casted me for The Benefactor. She's casted me for several other things. And she put casting calls out over social media. And her and Jason Loftus have Heary Loftus Casting. So what you do as an actor is you submit for the roles. They're saying, okay, we need extras or principal extras. We're looking for these type of people. And usually, since of being in the military, in the Marine Corps, being a martial artist, I get a lot of calls for SWAT guys, cops, security guards, that type of MO for me. You know, I don't get I'm short in stature. I'm clean cut and things. I'm not going to get, I need a 6'5", guy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get roles like that. So I submitted for it. Diane called me up and said, we'd like to book you for these amount of days. And I said, great. And then how it works is once you're booked, you better show up. There's a lot of people that don't show up or they show up late. This is a business just like anything else. And you're replaceable. I hate to say that to anybody, but
and there are people who don't show up then. And
and then there's people that it's crazy, of people don't take it seriously. You're getting paid to do a service, and it's fun. Who can say, "Oh, I was in a movie," So I got the call. So I got to work for 3 or 4 days down in Allentown. There was an abandoned mental hospital. And what I like about M. Night Shyamalan is his studios are outside of the Philadelphia area. And he tries to film most of his movies inside Pennsylvania.
A lot of his previous movies have.
Yes, and what is great about it is it keeps Philadelphia, not just Philadelphia actors,
the region,
but the region, Pennsylvania people acting in our state, so which is great. We get those tax credits, and it keeps it home, and it's more family. You know what I mean? It's
I think it draws a little bit different perspective too.
Yes.
This area especially has a lot of unique things in it.
Oh yes, it's beautiful.
Than other parts of the country too. It's not always something set in California or something that's, I think that even on screen it kind of comes off as a different type of film because of that.
So I got the call, and I showed up on set for. Down at the old abandoned mental hospital down in Allentown, right off of Hampton Boulevard. And it was, you go in, you check in, you sign your name, then you got to go to wardrobe, to get your wardrobe and everything. And actually, I got some pictures here of being on set. And we can go through it. Right here, though, that it says the set, extras this way, main characters this way, things like that. And then of course, what I love about being on set too is crafty. If you ever heard the word crafty, in the business, you've never been on a real set. Crafty is, the food. Everybody, you love being in the on the camera, and everybody wants to be on the camera and get that FaceTime. But they have set up breakfast and lunch and dinner if you're working all day long. And you can pick in between scenes because they want the actors to be, you're there
to do your thing.
And it's not just like you're sitting down. You're physically working. You might be walking from here to there. So you're active. So they want you. And crafts, they have everything there.
Yeah, you're not any good if you're sitting there hungry. Yeah.
Exactly. Or cranky, too. You need to be able to be workable. You know, the director, okay, you do this, you know, we need you to be this way. And what I love about M. Night Shyamalan's Glass, James McAvoy did a phenomenal job on his different, how should you say, his characteristics from his personalities, you know, 12 different personalities in one. And just to see him go from one to the other was really neat. And
in person.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
I mean, having this person, and we had lunch with him. You know, he was very approachable, but he was there to work. You know,
of course,
it's very everything. There's a lot going on set too. You know, and some of these pictures that we can go over in a second. You got lights, you got cameras, you know, people different, you know, setting up things. There must have been 300-400 people on set that were crew.
Right.
Alone.
And they're setting up different scenes, different shots.
Exactly. And then they're directing everything, like who goes where, doing this, go there, do that. There's a lot going on, you know, and so you get on set, you get your wardrobe and everything. And there's times, like what happened to me was I first got dressed up as a SWAT guy.
Okay.
A couple of the scenes where the different SWAT guys, some of the SWAT guys had rifles, some of the SWAT guys had shields with like the riot gear it was supposed to be. So I was one of the guys with the guns. So because I have weaponry training and things like that in my repertoire. So we did that. We did some of the scenes, and then we're we're going to keep you there. Or sometimes the director will, okay, I want you. You're going to come with me. We're going to change you out. So I had to go to wardrobe. We're going to put you as a security guard.
Oh, okay.
And another friend of mine that I told, hey, go contact Diane, Anton Dodson, who's a friend of me and Josh. I got him on set. So they put him in the security. He's a big guy, you know. Security, so he's a big guy. So he did, you know, he came and worked a couple days on set. But I was one of the security guards that we want you to switch over to security. Okay. So I had to go to wardrobe, get fitted, go do something else, and then wait for your scene. And then you don't know what scene you're going to be in. Oh, we want you over here, we want you over there. You're waiting for that direction.
Right.
So I just had a good thing where they just flipped the car with 2 security guards in it with James the Beast coming out.
Oh, right, okay, yep.
And then they said, okay, can you lay on the ground? He's going to rough you up a bit, and then he's going to drag you across the beat a little bit, you know, of there. So I actually have some photos here of me laying on the ground. I had a friend of mine.
You can hold them up and show them that camera.
That's me. The guy in the pants here is James McAvoy.
Okay, yep.
And that's where in the one scene, and that's just me of a beautiful laying down. They just killed me, you know. And what that is in the scene, he grabs the one security guard by the back of the neck and the one with the ankle, and then they drug me across. So that's what they got to see. And then I have a couple scenes after that, and even in this one here, you can see the van in the back.
Right, yep.
So what happened is, in this scene,
it all takes place in one relatively small area, too.
Yes.
If you've seen the movie.
Yes. And then he runs across and fights Bruce Willis against this van. And here's some other shots of, like, setup area where the security guys come in, where you see in the film. And, of course, this is the mental hospital where most of the things take place. So, and then, of course, we were there at night, so I got a couple different photos of setup at night. And if you notice here, and we talked about, there's a lot going on. As it goes dark, they need to be able to see.
Right.
So there's cranes here, and they're setting up lights and banners and things to reflect the light, and the reflectors and everything. So there's a couple pictures of that, and then there's just a lot going on, and I'm trying to get to where we have. I should have placed these in order. That's another one of me dead. Okay. Actually, here we go. You can see this scene here.
Okay.
This picture of that van. And there's a lot that goes set up in that. And you see the wires up there and everything. You know, when they're throwing people around, obviously we can't really throw people around.
Right, yeah.
You know, we're not that strong. So they're harnessed up, and, you know, that's where the stunt guys come in, and the body doubles, so to speak. You know, so he runs off. So I had that scene where he drugged me. Now, when they filmed that camera on those scenes, I still had to lay there so that they get background, because he just killed me. So, you know, it's out of context. If
Must have been laying there for a long time.
if you're looking at that scene from afar and that guy's still not there, who came collected the dead body?
Right.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So they all did a great job of setting everything up. So these are some of the wires that when James McAvoy was pushing him against the van and everything to make it look like he had super strength, those are the tricks of the trade with stunts and things. And then at the very end, you notice where they put all the SWAT guys in that crate. That was that. And then that tub was right there of where they dumped him in, where all the water came out, the water trough, or I'm not sure what you call it, but that big bin. But that was just neat to see. And then Bruce Willis came on set, you know, got in that hole, and he was acting like he was drowning and everything, shook everybody's hand and left then, you know, after his scene, you know. But it was really good. And, you know, these are just couple pictures of me in my SWAT uniform. There's me in my security guard uniform, looking security-ish. But that's, you know, that's what I was, you know, and here's a couple other, you know, of the cranes and everything on how they do it on set, you know. It's not like 100 years ago where, okay, we just fall down and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of technology.
There's a lot more involved.
Yeah, there's a lot more involved, and, you know, and also on set is very, very professional. You know, we sign confidentiality agreements before we even start filming.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on sets, meaning we can't show pictures until the film comes out. We don't want to leak anything.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and it was fun on set. It was great working with M. Night Shyamalan. He always has a cameo in all his films. And he's a really nice guy, too. Got to speak with him a little bit. Worked with the stunt director, Manny. Very nice guy. You know, and you're always trying. This is what I do on set. I'm always trying to learn. You know, yes, I'm there to have fun and work and, you know, get that paycheck. But I'm trying to see how can I do my stuff better, and camera angles and things like that. So you talk to, you know, I ain't gonna lie. There are some people that go in the back room. It's called the holding room, and they sleep all day. Yeah. You know, they don't care. You know, whatever. And the food was amazing. You know, lunch, we had steak and shrimp and pasta and whatever. You know, they had hand cooks. You know, they had prize chefs there catering to whatever you wanted. Yeah. You know, and it's great because you need to keep that energy up, and you need to be.
But I can see how that also turns into a, you know, hangout. Don't really have to be professional.
Yes.
You know, you're there to have fun, but it's not really for that too.
Yes.
So,
and it's a great way to interact with other actors, networking, because this is what it's about. I get calls all the time. Hey, do you know anybody that has a dog? You know, I just got a call from Diane Heary about if I had a dog. They had a scene in another movie. They needed a professional. I said, no, but I can call somebody.
Right.
And so they got to work on the film because they, you know, I mean, it's always about interacting with others, connecting with others. But Glass was a great movie, had a nice twist to it.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan is always, he's a genius when it comes to strategizing the film on, you know, building up with the suspense and everything else. And not to plug myself, but I hope to work on his future films because it was really good to work with.
Yeah, no, and it was an awesome movie, and it was really cool to kind of see it with you as well.
Yes,
and to see the parts that you were in, and other people who you were able to kind of show off in the film as well. So, if you haven't seen it already, come see Glass at the Fox Berkshire Movie Theater here in Wyomissing. Bill, thanks for talking with me.
Oh, thank you. Anytime.